Hey people, welcome to the Angels, Babes and Bitches show with me, Ruby. My guest today is Nadia. Nadia is from Chile and has been living in Finland for the last 7 years. She is a lawyer by training and a tango dancer for the past 14 years. Hi, Nadia. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi, Ruby. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's so good to have you here. Tango is a dance that I myself want to learn, so it was very good connecting with Nadia.
Yeah, you're welcome to join the lessons anytime.
Nadia, tell us something about this transformation from being a lawyer to a tango dancer and teacher.
I started dancing tango 14 years ago while I was finishing my law degree, and I really liked it. Of course, I never thought I would end up actually doing it for a living. I kept it going as a side activity, and in parallel, I was always developing as a lawyer,
Yeah.
working, and then doing my master's degree. And then I came to Finland to also do my PhD here. But I never really felt so passionately about law as other colleagues did. And I did feel very passionate about dance and about tango dancing. So at some point while I was in Finland here, I started thinking, what if I did that instead
Yeah.
of being a lawyer? Because I was already doing it anyway. So I was already working, like since I arrived here. I arrived 7 years ago, and in parallel to my doctoral studies, I was always um, teaching
Yeah.
tango. And then so I had already this experience. I had already this kind of like a name in the community here. And then as I was approaching the end of my doctoral studies and I ran out of funding, I
Yeah.
decided to start doing this as a full time.
How many years have you been dancing tango or even teaching tango now?
Well, dancing for 14 years, where I started learning, it was a small, well, not small town, but a small city where there was no regular tango teaching. My teacher, he was originally from that city, but he actually lived in Buenos Aires, and he would come to the city to teach and stay there for I don't know 2 or 3 months at a time with his family. And so I started learning with him, and then after 3 months, we basically were left without a teacher. When I was dancing like for 8 months, so that's nothing in tango
Yeah.
time. I had the opportunity to start teaching for beginners, and I took it. So I started teaching
Yeah.
the little I knew. I started teaching it, and yeah, and I continued teaching there for maybe 2 or 3 years after that, and then I moved to Buenos Aires.
So you have lived in, of course, in Latin America, and now you live in Finland. What is the difference between tango in, both these places, according to you?
Finland in Finland, people don't have are not very used to close contact, to physical close contact, and the
True.
tango embrace is very close. It's like you're touching the person, and you're touching them. You're touching their hands. You're touching their face. The torso is touching too, and there's a lot of contact, physical contact there. So in Chile, that's not so common either. So it's also a little bit difficult at the beginning. You feel a little awkward, especially when you're dancing with people that you don't know. But
Yes.
I would say it's easier. Uh, Here in Finland, it's really like a challenge to get people to relax in the tango embrace. Um, in fact, like in our lessons, we used to like in our beginner lessons, first class, there was a moment where we were always like making this kind of like imagery exercise when we asked everyone to close their eyes and imagine that they were in an airport and that they were saying goodbye to somebody that they loved. Really picture the face of the person, like it can be your father, mother, brother, friend, etc. And then go and say and hug them goodbye. And then we would ask them to hug, their partners, their dancing partners,
Yeah.
like that. And
Okay.
and all of this story was just to get them to kind of like give themselves to the embrace. I think that also the fact that here in Finland there are many dances. There is a big and rich dance culture that is
Yes.
different from what we have in Latin America. So the way that people move also shows this kind of like accent. It's like when people speak with an accent. In Finland there is a dance with an accent, and I understood this when I went to one of these lava dances and I saw people dancing there, and I realized, okay, this is what I'm seeing. This is where it comes from.
Finland has really so like a very big dance culture here.
Yes.
There are many people who learn dancing as a hobby. And when I moved from Singapore, this is one of the first things even I did. I went to one of the dance classes to learn kizomba. And then
Mm.
I tried some weekend sessions of bachata. And I think it's very common that people go around doing all of this. They try many dance forms. And I think then do what they really like. And then
Yeah.
just over Christmas, I tried tango, and I love tango. So such an amazing dance. It's so good. And
Yes.
I mean, I don't. It looks. How do you say? It looks like a sensual dance in the way you move with your partner, and it's so much in sync with your partner. But is it really a sensual dance according to you?
The stereotype of tango, it's like this really sexy stuff, like the lady dressed in red with a huge cleavage and the heels and maybe a rose in the mouth or something. And I think a lot of people come with this expectation
Oh my God.
when they come to the lessons. But and that's like, to me, that's a kind of like caricature of what tango is. And there is that too. Like if you go to, I don't know, stage tango, you go to see a show, it will be like that, and it's really nice and spectacular, etc. But the
Yeah.
social aspect of tango is not so much in that sense, but it's still, I think, it's very sensual in a different way, because the tango embrace is something that you cannot hide yourself from. Like you have to show your vulnerabilities. For instance, when I started dancing, I remember I would get very nervous. There's no way to hide that, because the person is like right there, like right beside you. So if you're shaking, if your heart is found, it's going a little faster, they will feel it.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's really sweet and nice to be able to share, that kind of closeness with a stranger, sometimes without any other intention, but still you open yourself up to share this kind of like physical connection with other people. And I
Yeah.
think I think that's sensual,
That
but
is.
it's maybe, yeah, but in a different way that what you people are expecting. It's not a sensuality, or maybe it is as well a little bit, but it's not so much about the sensuality of 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 dressing sexy and whatever. It's really intimate. So yeah, it is sensual, yes, but not in the classic or perhaps more stereotypical way.
Yeah, and because you mentioned these dresses, and I can see. I mean, maybe I have also seen these show tango, maybe videos on YouTube, and women wear these amazingly sexy dresses. So, where does one get these dresses from in Finland? I always like to ask these simple but important practical questions on the pod chat at times.
Where do you get the dresses in
Yeah.
Finland? Well, there are a few tango clothing brands here
Okay.
that I like. Right now, like in Tampere, there is this school, La Fábrica del Tango, and they sell shoes,
Oh, nice.
beautiful high heel shoes, amazing quality, and they also sell some clothing there that they make them. Some of them they import it from Argentina, and some of them they make them themselves. So that is one place where you can get. And then there is this lady in Turku who has a brand that's called Milento. I don't know how she pronounced that, but she also makes some really nice skirts and dresses as well. I have some stuff from her. You can also order them online. There are several like places in Europe where you can order, but then you always risk that maybe they don't fit,
Yeah.
etc. So in normal times, what you could do is attend a festival. Like there is a really big festival that would normally take place around this time of the year in February, end of February. It's called Tango Frostbite.
Okay.
And there there are lessons, of course. There are sometimes they bring like tango orchestras, and they also have rooms and areas for tango clothing.
I will add these links in the episode write up, and I will definitely add a link to your own webpage in the episode write up so that if anyone wants to take tango lessons, they can reach out to you. Many things are taught on Zoom or other like online platforms. So, have you also moved your tango lessons to this format?
Yes, I started very early. So I remember, I think it was 17th of March 2020, where we had to shut down everything, all the
Yeah.
lessons.
Yeah.
And the following week, I started right away with online lessons. We tried Facebook Live, and then we tried the Zoom, and eventually we realized that Zoom was a little bit better. At the beginning, of course, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought I was very naive. I thought that I would be out of teaching for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I initially suspended the lessons for just 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
um, but um, but yeah, we kept on going with the lessons. So we started teaching, and then after in June we had the chance to go back to contact teaching, and I remember a lot of our students were really like thanking us for staying there with them, like so that they in these difficult and uncertain times that they could have, continue with their hobbies, continue with their passions, and in a way also we were just being with each other, sharing
Yeah.
some time together in these lessons. I'm doing now a lot more of solo lessons because a lot of people, they don't have partners at home, so they're just like taking the lessons on their own. But and in that sense, I have developed a lot my thinking, my technique, my teaching, just so that I could respond, to this new challenge.
Yeah, it is challenging times in so many ways. And I think mainly because, yes, so many things are taught these days through online platforms. It's not ideal. I mean, I would also like to
Mm,
go to a classroom or a dance studio to learn a new dance form or to even continue with what I have been learning. But then on the
mm.
other hand, like you said, then Zoom or any of the other platforms, it's not bad because you can still pursue your hobby rather than stopping it altogether. You can also have like students from anywhere in the world now.
Yeah, and at the beginning, I used to have a lot, not a lot, but I had some students taking lessons from. I remember there was somebody in Copenhagen, and then
Yeah.
some lady in the USA, Estonia. But right now, everyone is online. So you
Yes.
can take a lesson with me, but you can also take a lesson with I don't know, with the amazing maestro from Buenos Aires now.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that we could always do this, but we never even tried it because we didn't have to.
Yes.
Um,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree
and there
with
are
that.
a lot of possibilities. Like well, this thing that you're doing now is probably something that an idea that may have come because of the need to do something that is online as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and
Yeah.
I also had these interviews online
Yeah.
with my with like I wanted to read about women, so it was called Conversations with Women in Tango, and they were like 1 hour interviews going live in Facebook with these amazing teachers from different parts of the world. So I had people from Chile, from Argentina, from Uruguay, um, from Croatia, from
Nice.
Turkey, Paris, like everywhere. And it was really, really nice, like a really, really amazing learning opportunity for me, and in a format that maybe could always have happened, but never did because I never had to. So it's like,
Yes. Yeah, I think we all never had to think of doing so many things online at all. With the tango, because it's such a like a couple or a partner dance. So when you go for a dance class, and I'm sure that many people from the audience have this question, do you need to have a partner of your own?
No, no. I mean, look, I think it may be good at some point that you have a partner, a regular partner that you can practice with.
Yeah.
And it's also easier because at the beginner lessons, we, at least the lessons that I give, we always try to keep them equal amount of leaders and equal amount of followers. So if you don't come with a partner, they may be like a queue to enter. So until we find a suitable partner,
Yeah.
which is in the end is for everyone's benefit, because it's not nice when, sometimes if it's not even, you have a couple of ladies waiting, and it spoils the experience for them. So it's just better that it's like equal amount of leaders, equal amount of followers. So some followers, when I mean followers, it's like the following part is like the part that usually the women do.
Yeah.
And there is this leading role that is normally done by guys. But of course, you can change these things. Like as a lady, you can also lead. And if you want to lead, for instance, as a lady solo, it will be easier for you
Yeah.
to get into the courses, because I don't care if the leaders are men or women. I don't, of course, I don't discriminate for
Yeah.
that. I just care about the role. Like if you tell me I want to lead, okay, sure, come in, and it's gonna be probably easier to find a partner, because there usually are more ladies who want to follow than
Yeah.
people who want to lead.
Yes, I think I'm one of the followers. I like going to the tango class because I'm not thinking what I have to do. The leader is thinking, I'm
Yeah,
moving. I think that's the
yeah,
best
yeah,
way.
I agree. It's an easier role to do at the beginning. At the
Yes.
beginning, the leading role, it's a little bit more zen, like you are kind of almost, you have to manage to be in the present. Not easy though, but still, you have to
Yeah,
manage to be in the present, but you don't have to make decisions. That's true.
true. No, that's true. That's why I like the follower role in tango. I, as a teacher, what tips would you give new students learning tango?
I used to ask the same question to in my interviews.
Yeah. Now you have to
uh,
answer it.
Now I have to answer it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the first one is be patient. To be patient.
Yeah.
Usually, students at the beginning, they want to achieve everything, they want to learn everything. And tango, it takes time because it's a complex dance. So you have to, gain awareness of your own body, and that usually takes a little time. So be patient, and also be kind to yourself. I think that a lot of us have a tendency to, learn by being harsh on ourselves, and I don't, and I think that spoils the experience, because this is something that people are doing as a hobby. So it's something
Yeah.
that is supposed to bring you pleasure, and I think that it's important that we are kind to ourselves, and patient to ourselves, to our partners. Yeah, and enjoy, and just enjoy. Like I when I started dancing, I had this, that I sometimes would get nervous, like when I was dancing with somebody better than me. And it's really like a nice feeling, But now I don't really have that anymore. Sometimes, well, if I perform, I have like this rush of energy and adrenaline that I like as well.
Yeah.
But I kind of miss that feeling of like being super nervous, and so also enjoy like every part of the process. I think that it's important to keep the joy. Sometimes I feel when I see people learning here that sometimes they are too harsh, and they want to be better, 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 but they forget to simply enjoy, the experience that they are putting themselves through. Be patient, be kind, and enjoy.
Yes, I think the enjoyment is the biggest tip. Yes, I've also noticed that people are very serious about learning any kind of dance form here,
Mm.
and they're quite competitive in some manner. And then there are people like me who are going for pure fun and enjoyment. So maybe sometimes there is not like sync of
Yeah.
not like energies because I'm going for a different reason to the dance class.
Yeah, and
That's
as a
true.
teacher, it's also like a challenge to balance all these interests, because of course I am very perfectionist, and I am with myself. I want to be better, and I want to like improve, etc. But I have noticed that I think that at the beginning it's just better than people just enjoy, and then if they really get hooked with tango, then we can start being um, a little bit more precise, or
Yeah.
a little bit more like asking a little bit more from them as teachers.
I am definitely going to join Nadia's dance class in Helsinki, and I hope the classes start soon in a physical form. To end this chat, Nadia is most definitely a bad bitch, I would think, who has completely changed her career from being a lawyer to a tango dancer. And I think that needs so much courage and different kind of determination. Thank you, Nadia, for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing our audience with another beautiful story next week. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you very much, and thanks for doing this show.